Thanks for joining us this week for our November blog all about PPC. And we're so glad you've joined us. And we have the awesome Grayson joining us this week. How's it going, Grayson?
It's going great.
Good. I'm so glad that you're here. If it's okay with you, can I go ahead and jump in with a question for you this week?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So my first question is, does pay-per-click advertising actually work?
Great question. I think it's really important to ask that before you start doing it, because, I think that as a whole, it works. I mean, there's a reason that it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like so many of the biggest companies in the US and in the world, they do pay-per-click advertising because they see that it works. And Google, as we said in a previous week, they estimate that on average, people get $2 back in revenue for every $1 they spend. And that's just the average. You can do much better than that with a good strategy. You can make much more money from PPC advertising than what you're putting in if you do it right.
So when you're like determining pay-per-click and let's say you've determined that you think it could be a good fit, how do you really know if PPC is right for your business? Like, are there certain questions you need to ask yourself, or what are the standards of measurement?
Yeah, that's a great question because honestly, I don't believe it's right for every single business because there are certain contexts where the competition might be way too high for you to be able to make your money, or there are a few kind of just questions I think that you would want to answer yes to before you would start doing PPC advertising, kind of like you said. So like I would ask, are people actually searching for your products or services online? Because there are a few, we've kind of seen, there are a few times where you might be in kind of a really small niche in a certain area where, let's say like you're a commercial company, you do B2B, and almost all of like jobs like that come from relational marketing. It's not always like that. There's a ton of B2B PPC, but sometimes there are just services where people aren't really looking for that service online. So that would be one of the first things I would ask.
Okay, what are some other questions you should ask yourself as a small business owner to know if PPC is right for you?
Yeah, so then I would also want to determine are you wanting to get more leads than like what you're getting without paying Google? So, on Google, you can get a lot of organic or non-paid leads. So that's just kind of what you do naturally with your website, getting good content on your website and such. Like you can get good leads or purchases without paying for it. And let's say right now your business is maxed out on what it can handle and you're getting all that you can really deal with at that point. You probably don't want to invest more money into that. You're probably wanting to get more people on your team or grow your departments and stuff. So if you're not wanting more leads than what you're currently getting, then you probably don't want to start advertising yet.
Right. You definitely need to have the ability to grow with the leads that you're getting because I've heard it described as pay-per-click advertising is really like a light switch. You turn it on and you get all these leads coming in, and then it can be overwhelming if you don't have the staff or the capacity to handle the growth that's coming in or to process them quickly, because we know that if you don't process it quickly, that's just not good business. And people get frustrated and they won't come back to you. I recently had that happen. I clicked on a Google ad. I was looking for something and I submitted my form and I was really excited for someone to call me back, and I still haven't got a call back. So will I ever recommend that company? No, I will not, because they couldn't even call me back. And it was for a big home project. So it's definitely, you want to have the capacity and the ability to answer and respond to those leads. I literally thought of this question while you were talking. How important is it to have a good website when you're doing pay-per-click? Because I feel like they're kind of tied together.
Oh, absolutely. If you don't have a good website or you're not able to get one created, I would not start PPC advertising, because essentially, like, you're just kind of throwing money away at that point. People a while ago on the internet, they would tolerate not very good websites or slow load times just because a lot of people were like that. But now people, if they go to your website from an ad and it's taking forever to load, they're not quite sure that you solved their problem, they can't figure out how to contact you or even what to do on the website, they're leaving and going to someone else like right away. So if you don't have a great website, you're just throwing money away because people are clicking on your ads, but they're not ever going to do anything there that you want them to. So it's going to be pointless.
So your website really functions as like the first view a person has of your company. So you definitely want to put your best foot forward. We don't want to just put like just a random hodgepodge of old pictures and old information. Like if they can't contact you, if you can't get a prospect to get to your website and convert right away, then like you said, it's pointless. And we don't want pointless stuff.
No. And part of that too, I would say that's really important is like you want to make sure that what you're sending them to is specific to the ad and the search that's being made. So like, again, if someone is searching for a roofer, and you're a whole exterior remodeling company and they click on your roofing ad, but then they get sent to like your homepage that just talks about exterior remodeling, a lot of times you're going to lose those people. You want to make sure you're sending them to a specific page about roofing that will solve their roofing problem, because the more steps people have to take to solve their problem, the less likely it is you're going to keep them.
Yeah, man, this is really good information. I think that this will really help a lot of small business owners. Let's not get the cart before the horse. Let's make sure that we have a solid foundation in our website, or at least a solid landing page that can convert the prospects that would come from a digital ad. So I guess that would be like one of the first places that you start before you create a pay-per-click ad. You would want to make sure you have that landing page or that website that's ready to roll. Because like you said, people aren't just going to keep clicking around looking for the answer. They want it at their fingertips. So those are really great tips, Grayson. Thank you so much for answering those questions this week. Now make sure, viewers, that you turn in next week, because we have one more week of questions and Grayson's going to answer everything and solve all the world problems all in 1 week. It's going to be awesome.
I'll try.
Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys next week.